Hey folks, it's Ben. We're doing another modification here to our seed starting table, and this doesn't have much to do with seed starting as much as it has with seed growing. Come on down here with me. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be installing an electrical box on the bottom side of our table. We're going to be using just a basic plastic lamp holder. And then what we found at the UFA, which is United Farmers of Alberta, is this grow lamp. It's an LED. It's 10 watts. It's very pink, but it's designed to be able to grow plants very well. So we have all this extra space underneath the table. We could have plants down there that could be beginning to grow. And with some electrical wire, we're also going to be connecting the plug here. And so we're going to plug it into a timer so it'll operate as well. So that way my wife can have some plants under the table that can grow. We've got a pair of these, so I've got two of everything. And this is our little adventure of hooking them up and getting them going. So before I put the box underneath the table here, I need to make a hole for my electrical cable. So I'm just going to pick one and pull it out here. And that'll give us wire entry into the box. And I'll just back this up. So we can have our wire come in this way, and we'll have it dangling out into our little lamp box here. Now what I'm going to take is a couple Robertson screws, and about a third of each table. We're just gonna one or two screws just to mount it up here kind of loosely. It's not really a permanent installation, maybe it is, but either way we'll clamp it up here right now and run some wire. Alright, because these screws are a little bit longer than 3/4 of an inch, I'm gonna put them in at an angle. Hopefully they won't poke through on the other side so bad. So there's one. Let's put the other one in. Nice and tight. Now let's run some wire through these guys. If you're cool like me and you live in a house that probably needs more electrical work than you care to admit to, you just buy wire by the spool and use it as you need it. So in this case, I'll pull enough wire to come out and wire my fixture. And I do enough over here, and I'll make a little junction over here, and we'll put our plug that'll go, and we'll mount it on a little socket, so, or a plug. So I'll cut it right here. And then I'll strip them both back and get the bolts wired in. And before I get these attached, so you can just look on the outside here. The gold is my hot center, and then the ground is my outside. And because this is really cheap, they're about $1 a piece, I think. I need to pre-hook them. Because they're only light fixtures, they don't really have a ground on them. So I'll just line the primaries, and I'll line the ground to the box. I usually like them the other way, so when you squish them, they get pushed in, but this will work fine because these are low watt and they feel almost temporary. It's probably overkill for a light bulb, but anyway. And then these little holes here, these screws will be used to hold our light fixture on. So there we have one. So we've saved over $2 instead of buying a pre-made fixture. Now I'll bring the wire over to the second one and do the exact same thing, but we're gonna have to do a little bit more with the cabling. Okay, so you can start off here. So, okay, we've got our wire from our other box here, and it's dangling down here, and I have my other wire from the plug-in part. So this part will actually have to come over here, and we'll put this plug on it, and that way we can plug it into our timer. So now what we need to do is these light switches, or I should say light plates, have two sets of screws on them, so we can actually connect one set to the other lamp and the one set to the power. We'll ground out everything on the box, and then we'll do the plug-in. So this will probably be just a time lapse of me doing that. So we'll get going. Okay, so I'll take a little cut here. Okay, so for those of you who don't know how these work, it's a do-it-yourself plug essentially. So you need really a Phillips screwdriver to run them. But this part we loosen up, and this is where our cable will enter, and then we'll be able to tighten it down. And then on the front here, there really should only be one of these that are good to go. Okay, so we have two pieces. We have our screws connect our hot, cold, and ground, and then this part here. So we'll run this through right now. I forgot to cut the extra plastic off here, insulation, so just do that. So I will run this in. For now, we'll just let that fall down. And then we'll come in here, and if they're already loose, and they are. So in terms of power, which it's not actually marked here, you can look at any outlet. And the one on the left with the bottom here, so the one on the the left side will be the ground, so that'll be our white. So we'll go ahead and plug that in. So we have white, black, and then the bottom will be ground, and you can just push them in and screw them down, and it will bite onto that wire, make a good connection. And it's just good practice, even though we're not really ever using our grounds, to go ahead and put it in anyway.
You're super wiggly.
I know I am. So our plug's good, and you can pull on it and it doesn't go anywhere. So we'll bring this back up and line my holes up like so. And there's a little notch here that should line up. There we go. And now I just screw these in, and they're very aggressive. They turn in fast. Two. That's all set. Make sure this one bites down on our cable. That's now so now our cable is just like an extension cord. It's set up just right. We know how our lamps are set up, so let's go ahead and put some bulbs in them, and then we'll plug it in. Okay, so we get the lights off because these are going to be stupid bright, and we're going to put them on a timer so they run just about the same as the upstairs lights there, but I'm going to plug it in. Now we've got this super purple light that apparently plants like a lot. And we'll get this cord up out of the way. But now we've got some growing lights underneath our table, so we've kind of got a dual purpose thing going on now. We've got our starting upstairs, and once we get to a plants, we start putting them down here and they can start growing up. If you have any questions on this project or how shade tree I am, that's fine. If you think I'm doing something grossly wrong, that's cool too. But if you have any questions, comments, please leave them. Subscribe to our channel, Red Barn Homestead, for more exciting seed starting, planting stuff. As we get rolling into the spring, we're going to be recording a lot of things. So with that, you guys have a good day.